Hi there, this is Ranjit, and it's 31st December, so the end of this year. And in 2015, we got a lot of smartphones and some very interesting smartphones. But still, I would say there was no perfect smartphone. I liked a lot of phones, but every phone had a major flaw here and there. So here is my list of features that I would like to see in a idealistic smartphone. I don't know if we will see that in 2016, but I've made some pointers, so let's go over them. And in 2015, I have noticed that many of the flagship smartphones and the powerful smartphones have become sort of phablet. For example, this is the Nexus 6P that I like really very much. But again, I feel the size is too high. For example, even the Note 5. Most of the flagship smartphones are sort of the phablet. But in 2016, I wish that the screen sizes, instead of increasing further, go in the opposite direction. For example, I personally feel that idealistic screen size would be around 5.3 inches to a max of about 5.5 inches. For example, we had the BlackBerry Priv. It had a 5.4 inch screen. I feel that screen size was an idealistic screen size. Next, moving to the battery life. This is one thing that I'm really annoyed. Yes, the battery lives have become okay, sort of, but again, if you're sort of a power user and, for example, if you travel a lot, then still the battery life on these phones are not that good. For example, I really like the Samsung Galaxy S6 and the LG G4, but the battery life on them was simply not that good. And I see the trend of these manufacturers making their phones slimmer and slimmer. And in fact, I wouldn't mind if we have slightly thicker phones with better battery life. For example, when I generally travel, I like to carry this Lenovo YP1. This is not a high-end phone, this is a mid-range phone, but the battery life on this phone is nothing short of incredible because it has a 5000 milliamp hour battery. So whenever I travel, I just carry this phone because I don't have to worry about battery life. So I hope the flagships that we see in 2016 have better battery life. Next is regarding camera performance. Again, in 2015, we saw a lot of phones with very good camera performance. For example, the LG G4, the Note 5, and even the Nexus 6P. But I've noticed that the camera performance is universally not that great. For example, the LG G4 and even the Note 5 overall have a very good camera. But when we move to indoor lighting and artificial lighting, they just perform just okay. In that aspect, I would say the Nexus 6P does a lot better in artificial lighting and low lighting. So I would like to see a combination of the Note 5 or a Nexus 6P camera. That would be ideal, I would say. Next, moving to front-facing speakers. This is one thing that I would like to see on all flagships. Generally, we see a lot of phones that have the speaker on the side or on the back. But when you hold the phone while consuming media, you accidentally block those speakers. So I would love to see other manufacturers also implementing the front-firing speaker. For example, HTC does that. And even Motorola has done that now with the Moto X Type. And even this Nexus 6P has a front-firing speaker, which gives a more immersive experience. Next, moving to physical LED notification light. I'm a big sucker for physical LED notification light, and I would love to see that on most Android phones. For example, with the Motorola flagships, they have this active display, Moto display, so they don't enable the physical LED notification light. But I feel having a physical LED notification light makes a lot of sense. For example, let's say I'm busy and my phone is just lying around, and if I come after half an hour, if we have a physical LED notification light, by just seeing that blinking light, I get an idea about the notification. So I really love to see that other manufacturers also implement a LED notification light. Next is regarding the fingerprint scanner. In 2015, we saw a lot of devices actually implementing the fingerprint scanner, and I think so almost all the phones will have fingerprint scanner. At least the flagship and the mid-range phones will have a fingerprint scanner in 2016. But I would love to see a reliable fingerprint scanner. For example, in 2015, if I have to say, the fingerprint scanners that I really liked were from the iPhone 6s. The Touch ID on it is actually very good, and also on the Nexus 5X and the Nexus 6P, the fingerprint scanner is very good and very fast and reliable. So I would love to see a more reliable fingerprint scanner on all the smartphones that we see in 2016. Next is moving to fast charging. Yes, we see fast charging again on a lot of Android smartphones, but I would love to see that feature being implemented even on other phones like the iPhone. Though the iPhone 6s has a relatively compact battery, but it does take a lot of time to charge. So I would love to see fast charging across all the smartphones, at least flagship smartphones in 2016. And also if a smartphone supports fast charging, for example, the LG G4 did support fast charging. For example, the Moto X Play and even the BlackBerry Priv did support fast charging, but these manufacturers simply did not bundle the fast charger in the package. So if your device actually supports fast charging, please bundle the fast charger in the package. Next thing is regarding the build quality. Yes, the build quality, especially among Android phones, has increased a lot this year. But again, I would say still some of the manufacturers, for a classic example is this Nexus 5X. I really like the Nexus 5X, but the biggest con for me is that plastic build. So I hope the build quality continues to improve in 2016, and at least smartphones costing above 20,000, or that's around $300 or more, should have very good build quality. Next is regarding the storage. Again, here most of the Android flagship manufacturers, for example OEMs, have implemented this. The minimum internal storage should be 32 gigabytes, but I still see the Apple devices like the iPhone sticking with 16 gigabytes, which is sort of disgusting in my opinion. The minimum storage should be 32 gigabytes. And also if it's an Android device, I would love to see micro SD card functionality. Last year we saw a trend of many manufacturers actually removing the micro SD card, that is especially with Samsung flagships. Next is regarding good grip. Again, this year we have seen a lot of phones having great build quality, but when we talk about in-hand feel, that's not that great. For example, I really like the build quality and styling of the Note 5 and even this OnePlus X, but again, it's an extremely slippery phone. They should also concentrate on the in-hand feel and the grip. For example, the Moto X style has a very good grip, and even the BlackBerry Priv has a very good grip. Next is again, this might be familiar if you have used a Motorola device. I really like the functionality of that Moto display, which actually shows you the notifications. You don't even have to unlock the phone. I like that functionality. So I would love to see other manufacturers also implement that sort of functionality in their devices. Yes, on Android phones, so with third-party apps like AC Display, you can get that sort of functionality. But I would love to see some sort of native implementation by other Android OEMs also. Yes, with Android Marshmallow, we have that ambient display functionality that is there on the Nexus 5X and the Nexus 6P, but it is not that functional and it does not work as reliably as we have seen on the Motorola devices like the Moto X style, etc. So these were some of the features and I would say hardware implementations that I would love to see on flagship devices, at least in 2016. Do let me know what are the features that you would love to see on your dream smartphone. Do post your comments in the YouTube comments section. And again guys, again this is the end of 2015, so very happy new year, and I hope to see you again in 2016. So thanks for watching, and if you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. Thank you. This is Ranjit, and I hope to see you in my next video.